I had a client ask, how is it that you can remove the Dun Bradstreet SIC codes that are reporting that you did not select, or for that matter, the Experian or the Equifax SIC or NAICS codes that you did not select? So first and foremost, to make this clear, the SIC code is a 4-digit code that's used by the state to identify businesses that are in specific industries within the state. The NAICS code is a federal code that's used by the government to identify businesses in specific industries within the country. Okay, so one is a state code, that's 4 digits, the SIC, and the other is a 6-digit code, the NAICS, and it's federal. Okay, so the easiest way to notify the state and the federal government of what SIC and NAICS codes you selected is when you go to apply for your business license, and this is specifically for the SIC code. You want to let the licensing bureau representative know what SIC code you selected for your business, because it's important that you select codes that are not high risk. But many people don't share with you, many experts don't share with you, how do you select a code for yourself and notify the state and the federal government. So when you're speaking with the licensing bureau or submitting your business license application, write the SIC code on the top of the application, because typically the licensing bureau representative or the parties in that office, when they input your information into their database, they will select the SIC code for you if you did not select one for yourself. So you want to give them the code on your licensing bureau application. Now, where do you put the NAICS code to alert the federal government on what NAICS code you selected? Well, that is something that I haven't heard very many people discuss that are experts in the industry. You want to put that NAICS code that you selected, of course, a non-high risk code, on the face of your tax return filing. All right, there is a field on the face of the tax return where you can input the NAICS code. And what this does is it alerts the IRS of the code, and then that information is also populated in the database for the government for all industry members of a specific industry, or all business that are of that specific industry. And then the way that information gets to the credit bureaus is because these credit bureaus then also, through public information, access that data and import it to your credit reports. So you'll find sometimes that you'll have multiple NAICS codes or SIC codes on your credit bureau, business credit bureau reports. And it's because when you finally selected your code and called the business bureaus, Dun Bradstreet, Experian, Smart Business, or Equifax, and you said, this is the code you selected, every year that your taxes are due, the government continues to populate the code they selected for you, the federal government, and then the database for the state, the licensing bureau that communicated that information for your SIC code to the state, continues to repopulate that information every year. So you end up with multiple SIC codes and NAIC codes on your business bureaus. If you just make sure every year that you do your tax return, you put your NAICS code that you selected on the face of the tax return, and then go to the Business License Bureau and ask that they update your SIC code in their database, so now you won't have multiple codes reporting.